Welcome back to Twins in the Kitchen. Today we are making breakfast Easter egg baskets. Barbara? These bring back so many memories of our mom and our Aunt Sally making these on Easter Eve, and then they served them for Easter morning breakfast. It was a sweet treat, yet it was great because it's got the egg in the middle of it, the colored egg with all these beautifully decorated sprinkles, and it just tastes wonderful. And they were fun to look at. They were fun to look at, and they were very good to eat, and we hope you like them too. Okay, let's put, all right, so first we're going to take the flour and put the flour in. Okay, and then we'll combine the sugar. The baking powder, the salt, and we're just going to combine it. I'm just going to use a whisk, and I'm just going to make sure that it's all combined. Okay, now we're going to cut in the butter and the shortening into the flour. Okay. All right, that looks good. It looks done. It's about, you know, by the time you're finished cutting it through, it should be about the size of a pea. Maybe you can take a handful and you can see the pieces like that. That's good. So then the next step is to take, we'll just put this off to the side. We're going to take the milk, add the eggs that we kind of stirred up, scrambled, semi-beaten. Yeah, we're going to put the eggs in. And then we're going to take a teaspoon of the Madagascar vanilla. Yeah, there we go. Give it a good stir. Just a little, just beat it up a little bit more. And then we're going to make a well. There you go. A well right in the center. Okay, and we're going to add this egg and milk and flavoring mixture straight into the well. Okay. I think you can start mixing it, Barbara. All right, there we go. I think I'll mix it with a fork. Yeah, mix it. Here, I have a fork right here. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, go ahead. You do that. And you're going to mix it well. And you're going to mix it until it actually forms a ball. And then once it forms a ball, we're going to turn it out onto the pastry board with a lightly floured pastry board. Get it all in there. Get all that in there. Okay. Okay, that's good enough. Good enough. Okay. Okay. You might need a little more flour on that rolling pin. Yeah, let's put a little bit on here. There you go. All right. Okay. Now that we have the dough in a ball, we're going to roll it out. And it feels nice and smooth, okay? And it's soft, silky. So now we're just going to roll it out. And starting at the center. This. That's what I mean. We have to start cutting now. All right. Okay, let's start. So let's start here. We'll make one. So we're going to cut out 12 round circles with the 5-inch cutter. Is this the 5-inch cutter or the 4-inch? The 4-inch. A 4-inch cutter. Excuse me, a 4-inch cutter. Yeah, it didn't look like it was 5 inches. Okay, now that we've cut out all our circles, we're going to get ready to put them in the pan, the muffin tin. And what we did was just give it a really quick, light spray of cooking spray. We used the baking one with a little bit of flour in it. The baking, yeah. Here we go. This one. We used some Baker's Joy. Baker's Joy. Just a light coat. Just a light coat, just to make sure that they don't stick. That's all. And then with the leftover, once we took the rest of the dough away from the circles, we'll reserve this to roll it out again and cut out strips to make the X on top of the baskets. Okay, so we'll leave that there. Okay, so let's take Yeah, maybe we can just make a little room here. And we're going to take each circle and gently press it in, very gently. Press it into each of the cups. And try to make them as even as you can. Okay. I'm just letting it fall in there. That looks better. Okay. All right, there we go. Now, the one thing that you want to have done probably the day before is to take a dozen raw eggs and color them. Okay, so after we did them, we put them back into the egg box. And here, as you can see, we have all nice colored eggs. And what we're going to do is take one egg and put it in the center of each one of the baskets. This one I don't like. It's not really. And we're going to use the smaller tip, the taper. That's going to go down. Okay, so now,
so we'll just put that off to the side.
And we're going to cut our strips so that we can make the crisscross, the X, on top of each of the baskets.
So let's put this in here.
Okay. Let's see.
I'm just going to put, all we did was cut the strips and then crisscross them over each one.
And don't worry if they're not exactly the same width.
They don't have to be perfect.
They don't have to be perfect. They'll be very rustic looking but beautiful. As you can see, some of ours might be a little wider in spots than others, but they will work out fine.
That's fine. So these are going to go in a 375 oven now.
We've had that preheating for a while since we started. And we do have leftover dough. So, and you probably will too, so feel free to make, you'll probably be able to get maybe 4 more out of this. Maybe not. But you should be able to get 4 more eggs if you'd like to.
And I'm going to put the timer on for about 18 minutes.
Yeah, you want to watch them and make sure that they don't burn, but at the same time, they want to be nice and golden. And you'll see they'll puff up a little bit.
Okay, so we took them out of the oven, and they're cooling off on a rack right now. And they're still a little warm, so we'll wait until they're completely cool before we do the icing. With the leftover dough, we had an Easter egg little tin, and we just threw some dough in here, like little mini cookies, and sprinkled some powdered sugar on them. They don't look very good from the back, but they're quite tasty, and they're a cute little snack. You could ice them and put sprinkles on them, you know, if you had leftover dough, or just throw the dough away if you don't want to do that.
And they are great with a cup of coffee.
Oh, they're delicious with a cup of coffee.
Just as these are in the morning, the adults will love them with coffee, and kids with milk.
Now, you'll see that the texture, here, try that. You'll see that the texture, it's kind of like a crumbly cookie. It's on the, I wouldn't say dry, but it's drier, and that's because they're really great for dunking in coffee.
It's kind of like a crumbly cookie, but on the drier side, and that's the way it's meant to be. It's delicious.
Very good. I wish I had a cup of coffee with me right now.
Me too.
Okay, so we'll be icing them shortly and decorating them.
Okay, we're back now, and we are ready to color our shredded coconut. This is sweetened shredded coconut. We have here, I think this is, what, half a cup?
About a half a cup.
Yeah, about a half a cup. So now we're going to use green food coloring to make it look like grass. The thing is, you want to start out with just a few drops because you can always add to it, but you can't take it away. And if it's too dark, it really doesn't look good. So I'm going to start with like maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drops. We may probably add more.
Yeah.
But I'm going to just keep stirring it up until
we get the right color.
Yeah, and if I have to add more, I'll add more.
We have another batch in the oven.
Whoops. Boy, like I said.
You really are sloppy today, Teresa.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Some days are better than others.
Okay, so I'll just put a spoon in this one and put that off to the side.
Okay. All right, let's go.
All right, now we're going to add a little bit of, this is our one of our favorite extracts, Fiori di Sicilia. It's a mixture of like an orange blossom and vanilla. But I'm going to put in about a half a teaspoon.
It's strong, so you don't want to overdo it. You wouldn't necessarily use it in the same ratio you would vanilla or almond.
I put in a half a teaspoon, and now I'm going to add about 6 teaspoons of milk, cold milk.
And if we have to add more, we will. We'll add more. We want to get it to a certain consistency.
4, 5, 6. Okay, and now I'm just going to give it a little whisk. And if I made it too thin, I'll add more powdered sugar. If I made it too thick, we'll add a little bit more milk.
And so far,
we'll give this a stir.
It's looking good.
It's nice and creamy. We just want to get all the confectioner's sugar mixed in with the milk.
We don't want this too thin because ultimately the sprinkles that we're going to put on it, we wanted to give it not a translucent coat, we want an opaque coat, and we want all the sprinkles to, and the, the shredded coconut to stick to it very nicely.
The shredded coconut will go around the basket, and the colored sprinkles and the nonpareils, they go on the crisscross basket handles.
And you can use any colored sprinkles you want. We happen to have these in our local store. They're more of a pastel color.
And more for Easter, more for spring,
yeah. Very spring. And the nonpareils, again, the same color as
I think
pastels.
we're good. I think we are good. Okay, so we're going to use a little basting brush.
And we're going to put it all around just the outer basket to start. And then we'll take each one and we put it in, there we go. Let me just clean this up. And we're going to turn it upside down into the coconut and just get it on all sides. Whoops, a little bit more. Okay. And we have a little basket. We might be able to add a little bit more on here. No.
Let me check.
Okay. Okay, and then
I think these could probably go a little bit longer.
Okay.
5 more minutes.
Then we're going to paint it on, or brush it on, to the crisscross here. This is too big of a brush, really, but we want to get it on here to put all the nonpareils and the sprinkles. What do you think? You think that's enough?
Yeah, I think that's good.
All right.
So let's...
First, we'll put a few of these on. And that looks pretty even, just like that.
Yeah, it does.
You don't even need those other things, do you? You want to put them on anyway?
Oh, let's throw a few on. I think we should probably just dip it. Yeah, that looks cute.
I'm afraid if we dip it, we're going to get the, there. But here we go.
Well, maybe we could use this. Let's try this.
So here we go. We have a very pretty looking basket. Okay, and anything that drips is fine. It will harden up. I don't know, you want to use a couple?
Yeah, well, why don't we just try doing it this way? There you go.
Right, that's it. Okay. Yeah, that works too.
Yep, that works.
So whatever you like. Now that we've finished decorating all our Easter baskets with that delicious icing and coconut and the parels and sprinkles, we're ready to eat it. Okay? Normally what we would do is just give each person one, the adults would have a cup of coffee, which we do have. Okay, so we just break it off. Like that. And of course we eat it along the way. Let's taste it.
Let's give it a taste.
Go ahead.
Oh, that's good.
That flavor is so wonderful.
It brings us back to when we were kids and watching them make these.
And eating them. And eating them on Easter morning. Delicious.
Very good.
We'll just, that's delicious. So we'll just take this off.
And we'll show you how we'll crack open the egg so you can see that the raw egg.
I'm going to cut into it like this for now, just to get the egg separated. But when you're eating it yourself, you can eat it any way you like. Oops, there you go. Okay, here we go. Okay, now we'll crack open the egg. Oops, there's still a little shell here. I'm going to use the knife to cut into it. Whoops. And as you can see,
the eggs are perfectly done. They're just
perfectly.
Perfect. They're yellow and they're hard-boiled eggs, and they're delicious.
They're not too dry. You know, they're not dry where they're green. Mm. Mm. Mm.
Very good. Okay, here's to
Very
another
good.
fine,
Here's to another fine
baking experience.
Yes, yes. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our channel. And until the next time, cheers.
Cheers.